Good morning, grade 12 student. We're done with the first, second, third week of our discussion or our online class. We will move on with the information literacy, focus, the nature of information. As mentioned earlier in this book, humans are distinct from other animals because of their ability to think. In fact, the development process that takes place from the moment a person is born until the time he or she ends her life journey can testify on how progressive a human can get all throughout his lifespan. From the simple ABC to the complex quadratic equation, it is an innate gift for this race to expand knowledge. However, this expansion of knowledge cannot be fully achieved without the information. So, what do we mean by information? Information was derived from the Latin word informere, which meant to go or to give form, shape, or character to a something, meaning it is responsible for integrating substance to everything around us for the purpose of adhering different senses to anything we perceive. It provides knowledge for people to consume as defined by Merriam-Webster. What is the importance of the information? As mentioned by Borgman 1999, in this book, that information provides richness to the reality. It is able to transform and improve everything by providing technologies and labels. For example, with information, one becomes knowledgeable on how to assemble a bicycle by the following instruction. A mother of 5 can please her children by cooking a mouth-watering meal through the recipe from the internet. A student can only pass the exam by correcting filing or filling in the right information on the test paper. Hence, information can be a great help by promoting a universal language for people to share and understand. Now, what is decoding science? Decoding science in communication, several theories were developed to explain the phenomenon of giving and taking information. One of these is the semiotic theory by Roland Barthes. This theory centers on signs and how people decode and interpret them. It goes beyond the literal use of language to provide information. The second one, access to information. It cannot be contested that information is everywhere. Whenever people look at, they can definitely extract some messages, may it be obvious or subliminal. In fact, today's generation can be coined as the era of information society, where information functions as a vital element to survive. Given this idea, it is safe to assume that several consumers can easily access information, especially nowadays. With just one click, it can be readily presented right before their very eyes. The right to choose. In communication, process a theory called uses and gratifications. This theory simply states the people who consume media have the right to choose whatever is convenient to them. For example, an employee who is an avid fan of football games does not have to wait until 5 o'clock in the afternoon just to watch the replay of the football finals that aired during the office hours. Instead, he can actually get updates and even watch the game live using the smartphone, meaning he has the freedom to choose what medium to use and gratify his needs. Next one, how about the information accessing? Nowadays, people are regularly introduced to something new. Alongside this phenomenon is the endless flow of information to people. However, people tend to become less powerful in containing them because of the number of benefits that tempt them. The question is, how to access the amount of information introduced to them? Perhaps the first step in answering this question is to determine whether the information is good or bad. What is good information? Anything that facilitates people's learning for the right purpose can be considered good. For example, if a student wishes to enrich his study by integrating additional information in his paper, then the internet can be great help. However, he or she must cautious in choosing reliable websites to ensure safety of the information. Some website domains are credible, while some are not. Here are some commonly used ones: the .org, the .com, the .net, the .edu, and the .gov. How to organize information? Organizing information emphasizes that information can be found everywhere. Whenever one looks at, something can be consumed and interpreted. Perhaps, if there is a place where information is continuously embedded in people's mind, that would be academia or the workplace. But the challenge is, how do students organize the knowledge taught to them by their teachers? How do supervisors and employees arrange information for their reports and presentation? Let's find out. Information overload. Besides the fact that information is everywhere, it is also important to note that information continuously grows. Every year, an overwhelming amount of information is being added to man's conscious mind. In fact, according to Daniel Levitin, a McGill University psychology professor, a greatest amount of information was added to the last 10 years, beating all the number in the history of mankind before that. Meaning, that fast flow of information has already started dominating the world, and the more are expected to come. We have more techniques in assessing information. Aside from techniques and tips given to order to deal information overload, there are other sophisticated ways in order to properly organize ideas. These are the pre-writing, outlining, and the mapping, including the tables. In information literacy, we also have ethical and the use of information. The abundance of information is undeniably beneficial to people from different walks of life. Without the doubt, the amount of their dependency on the information access has drastically rocketed through the years. On the intellectual property, if there is one issue that is commonly committed by many information consumers, that would be plagiarism. While a lot have already been penalized for being guilty of such crime, many are still not informed of its negative effect once you commit it. Merriam-Webster defined plagiarism as to steal and pass off, to use one another without crediting the source, or to commit literary theft, to present as a new and original idea the product derived from an existing source. This would definitely obviously state how unlawful plagiarism is. Now, you can use your module as a guide to answering the comprehension check-up, the quiz, the sit work, and the weekly test. Good luck!